Well guys, Papa Pepper back again, the Abundant Harvest Homestead here. Spent some time away lately, which means when I'm back, I've definitely got to be doing what I need to be doing. And part of that is just preserving the work that I've started. If you saw my recent how to build a goat house for under 200 bucks, and I built quite a goat house, you'll know that the main thing that project was waiting on was me just to actually tackle it, and then I needed some roofing too. Well, I got the roofing with some to spare, so I think I have enough for that project and this project. And if you heard me in that one, it was back in January that I was working on that project, and I had already gotten about this far on this one first. In that video I commented and made the statement that this one was functional at that point. You can see it's not exactly solid walls, but it did have a roof, it was some shelter, and it definitely was functional. So it was better than, you know, sitting under a pile of trees or something like that for the creatures. So you've got to take care of certain things yourself. Sometimes you got to be creative, and you've got to kind of tackle your fears. Now, I wouldn't say I'm exactly afraid of heights. I'm not fond of them. If I'm afraid of anything, maybe like failing as a husband and father. That'd probably be the actual, you know, concern. But I do have, you know, an appreciation of heights. I definitely don't like being up as high as I've got to go sometimes. And with this one, to get this roof up, you can see right there is the first section I'm doing over what we call the porch. And then this section will have a drop down as well. And that whole thing will be enclosed there, and I'll be using it for like drying different things. Like if I harvest a bunch of mugwort, a bunch of yarrow, a bunch of catnip, whatever, I can hang it up in this main room here. This is going to be the goal. And have a nice spot for it out of the elements to dry. And then also anything I'm using as, you know, fodder for the winter, I can put up there and then just bring it down in the winter. So we're gonna keep working on this, tackle this, and I'm gonna get up there and take care of some stuff, even though I'm not very fond of heights. Guys, check this out. I'm up here actually standing on top of this thing, even though I'm not very fond of heights. And I got an eastern fence lizard, a prairie lizard. I think this is the one Monster Truck caught earlier. Absolutely beautiful creature. Look at that blue. Can you see that blue on this guy's belly? Absolutely incredibly beautiful. But he was hiding up here between those two boards. There you go, buddy. Yeah, and we love finding stuff like that around here. We absolutely love that. But that's not why I'm up here. I'm up here and saying, no, you guys might be wondering, how do I get some of that crazy footage without a drone? Well, you see there's a branch here out over the top of there. And what I do is I lasso that branch, I pull it in, and then I electrical tape my GoPro to it, and it sits out there while I work up here to bring you guys incredible footage. At least until I get a drone. I want a drone eventually. I'll get there. Got some other things I want to do. But for right now, we make do, we get creative, right? So check this out, I'll show you the process. So guys, I hope I did a good job with this because I do not want to come up here and do this again. The next section, hopefully I can do nice and sturdy and take care of it as I'm able to. But this is, you know, this kind of Brian Phobos said when we were cliff jumping. This is kind of sketchy. I mean, there is quite a ways down there. Some of this hangs out over the top, but if you see it, My knees are kind of almost wobbling. I did do a good job, and you know, the price was pretty much free. I used I used a bucket board for the boards I put there, and then I did have the 1 screws bought, but the screws in this roof and this roof itself were actually free. So although I don't like heights, it's something I can get up here and do it. And I don't know, a couple times just praying we wouldn't fall, I wouldn't have any big issues. So I like it. I haven't seen it from the ground yet. I've got to carefully and safely get down there. Look at that guy. Go ahead. Show me what you're working with. This guy's always being creative and thinking up stuff. So that's one of my main helpers, monster truck there. And he is looping the handles of that. So this part I'm standing in is going to be roofed. It's going to be enclosed. There's going to be a window here, big clear window, and a window here that can open and vent. Through here you can see through that wall. Plus there's extra ventilation here. So this is going to be enclosed. There's going to be no trap door on there, because a trap door on there, 2 things can happen. 1, an accident, another kid being mean. Second kid's coming up, accidentally, boom, broken fingers. You know, somebody being mean and foolish as a child hurts somebody else. If I don't have a trap door there, if I don't have an opening, that can't happen. So then here, I'm actually going to have the door come in at an angle out to here, and this is going to be an outside porch. And much like the other goat pen, we're going to put up a railing here around the outside. I should have done it first. It would have been a lot sturdier for me. You know, here's where we got the airflow. Roof actually looks pretty good. I'm definitely happy with it. And then we'll put a railing system out here. And then maybe I'll even just build a couple, or I'll have a couple little chairs up here for the kids. They can look out. The other option would be to screen this thing in, but I don't think I want to screen it in. We've had little fights before, right, son? The suction cups and the bows and arrows, and we're pew, 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 shooting at each other, running around in the woods, having fun. Check it out. See that there? Ozark nest egg gourds. Because that and tobacco and feed scoop gourds. Okay, might do a whole video on that, but there's some plants that are not going to be the primary choices of your sheep and goats. So you can grow tobacco right with them. They won't touch it unless they really get out of other food. And same thing with gourds. They'll eat a lot of other things, but they'll leave those alone. So I might just do my whole property like that on the border next year and just have a lush green living fence. I think that looks so cool with those rock pillars we got at the other one. But we'll see. We'll see. So with the trivia from the last video about the Egyptian walking onions or treetop onions, the correct answers were Egyptian walking onions, another name for them. The stems can be a good substitute for chives. They reproduce from both the top bulblets and the bottom bulbs, so you have 2 ways of getting more for the next year. And they're thought to be a cross between the common onion and the Welsh onion. So if you got those 4 questions right last time, you were in the running for a shout out in this video. And the shout out in this video goes to Evelina Warren. You're the big winner. Give her a round of applause, guys. Which brings us to this video. Alright guys, so the trivia for this video. How much did the metal that I put on this roof cost me? Question number 2. Name one of my helpers that you saw at some point in the video doing something helpful. Question number 3. While I'm not fond of heights, I said there was only 2 fears that I really had. Name at least one of them. And question number 4. What did I put my GoPro on to make it look like I was having some sort of drone footage? If you know the answer to those questions, leave them in a comment below. Anyone who answers all 4 correctly will be in the running to get a shout out in a future video. I'll be picking somebody who answers correctly and giving them a shout out in a future video. If you guys don't know the answers, you can check it out again or watch the comment section for a bit. I'm sure somebody was paying attention. Alright, Papa out.
As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out Steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.